there are some foods that I miss so dearly. Finland has these amazing supermarkets. They're everywhere and in every city, and you can get something called reissumies tosi tumma. You know what I'm talking about. The reissumies tosi tumma. It's like this circular shaped rye bread, and it's a game changer. It's so good. Like, if you just grew up eating white bread, like the square loaf white bread, or even wheat bread, like wheat bread's good, it's all right, but this rye bread is game changing, and I could literally have it breakfast, lunch, and dinner just mixed in with different components. One of my favorite meals was a piece of this circular rye bread, the reissumies, with like an omelet on top of it, and the omelet had ham in it, had cheese on it. And then a very traditional thing to do for Finns is they like to put cucumbers on top of these sandwiches. And they're always open-faced because that's just the Finnish way to go. And boy, after I had that snack, I literally had a rye bread omelet for breakfast, like for the next 470 days of my mission, all the way until I went home. And then there's no more rye bread here. And I'm like, wait, what do I do? I just had to go back to eating my wheat bread. And I'm like, oh, this isn't the same. So that was a big game changer. Another one would be the Finnish cereal. When I came into Finland, I was in that American mindset of like the sugar cereals, Cinnamon Toast Crunch, Reese's Puffs, like all those things, the go-tos. And when I got there, none of that was there. So I had to figure out, all right, what am I gonna do for breakfast? So me being my naive little American self in Finland, my first week, I buy some Cheerios from the store, because they do have Cheerios. And I'm eating them, just kind of staying in my little bubble, not exploring. Later on, I muster up the courage to see my companion is eating something called muesli. We know how we feel about muesli, don't we? Muesli's amazing. It's basically a granola cereal that has dried fruit and these yogurt chips that are just phenomenal. When I tried muesli, it was a strawberry yogurt rainbow brand muesli. If you're from Finland, you know the one. You know the one I'm talking about. And I ate that, again, like my omelet, rye bread omelet. I ate it about 476 days from that day forth, every day. It was my iltapala, my evening snack. And I couldn't go to bed without it. It was just, I needed it. I'm pretty sure. And actually, I gained 10 pounds worth of just muesli because it did have sugar in it, and it did add up after several days. Weirdest food I've probably ever tried from Finland is mämmi. Little chuckle from my Finnish friend over there. Mämmi is a traditional Easter food, which is very common. You'll see it everywhere in the stores, and it's just this black sludge. And remember how I was talking about how amazing rye bread is? It's really good when it's like solid. It's not really good when it's like this plasma solid liquid combination, and it's just sludge. And mämmi, don't worry, there is a silver lining. It can be improved with sugar and vanilla cream. However, I ran into a problem when I wanted to add sugar and vanilla cream to my mämmi. I saw that I had this bowl of mämmi, I was eating it, and I didn't think I was going to be able to finish it because I was really struggling to get it down. So I'm like, hey, I'll add some more vanilla sauce to this. I add the vanilla sauce, and then it grows. The mämmi gets bigger. I'm like, wait, how am I supposed to finish this if I can't eat it without making it increase in mass because I'm adding more sauce to it? And I'm just in this paradox of eating it. It doesn't taste good enough. I need more vanilla sauce. It just grows, and I just repeat that cycle until I got the Finnish family just laughing at me and my suffering because they know exactly what they set me up for this. They wanted to get their entertainment's worth, so I had to give it to them.
I really like it. So I think there's a case to be made. You have to make sure the proportions are right, and you take less mämmi at the beginning than you think because you're gonna add a lot of cream, and then it's good.
And one thing about Finland is they do love to put jam with their meats, and I had never tried that before. I thought it was one of the weirdest things, but once you get hooked on it, it just becomes a natural part of dinner where it's like, hey, who's got the lingonberry jam? Like, how am I gonna eat this meat without my jam? I really love the food in Finland. As far as what I can cook and make for myself, going to the supermarket, there's just so many amazing options for everything you might need. But whenever I would have dinner with Finnish families who would invite my companion and I over to their house, it seemed like meals were usually based around some kind of potato. If it would be mashed, for example, very common one, and then pair that with a meat, whether it be salmon, whether it be reindeer, depending on if you're serving a little bit more up north. I had quite a bit of reindeer and absolutely delicious, love it. Moose is also amazing. If you got some families who have hunters, then you get a lot of moose. And I've had this moose lasagna at this member's house, and that was amazing.